war. History's littered with body scar, trying to settle the score to maintain an archaic platform of power and greed. People fight for land out of survival and need. So I'm killing my television and I'm planting a seed to fill my head with knowledge that I'm seeing receive due to the media prop.
Boom shakalaka, ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, brothers and sisters around the world. It is your boy Chris Schul. Ow! It is good to be back on the inner airwaves. I think I can say that, the interwebs. It's been too long. It's been what? I think this is the first podcast I've done this year, and it's good to have a break. Had a long break, focused on my music. I got a single out if you want to check that out. I got a new single. It's called No Worries. Be sure to check that out now on Spotify, on Google Play, iTunes. You know the drill. Ladies and gentlemen, check that out, and let me know what you think. But right now, on my 100th episode of the Chris Schul Journey podcast, we are going to be interviewing two very lovely ladies from the organization known as S.C.A.R, Second Chance Animal Rescue. This is an amazing organization that's all about giving animals a second chance, rescues these animals from the pound, from being euthanized, and gives them to people that are needy as companion animals. And I think it's a beautiful thing. I think often these animals are not only being taken care of, being looked after, and given a second chance, but they just as much have a positive influence on the people that they're taking care of. I think animals are one of the most therapeutic things to be around. Anyone that has a dog, I'm sure, or a cat can testify to that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, we're going to get into interviewing Second Chance Animal Rescue about what they've been up to, about the Fur Ball, which is an amazing event they got coming up on October 12th. And I'm going to be performing at this event. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into it. I think we should have Sarah and Marissa ready for a video conversation now. All right. Let's do this thing. Wow, there you are.
Hi.
You girls are looking so lovely. How you all doing?
Otherwise, one of our heads looks massive.
Okay, so am I coming in loud and clear? Not too much delay, I hope, not too much lag? Good.
Are we all right to be drinking coffee and tea while we're doing this, or not really?
Absolutely. The more casual it is, the better. I mean, just to give you a scenario, my podcast is pretty much just about having informal conversations. I try to avoid the whole professionalism that tends to take place in a typical radio conversation. So this is just like us, well, me being with you girls right now, having a coffee and talking about what it is that you girls have been up to. So welcome to the Chris Schul Journey podcast. You girls are actually you're on my 100th episode, so this is like an anniversary moment, and we're talking about a very, very important thing. Second Chance Animal Rescue. So yeah, just to begin with, you girls want to introduce yourselves and tell me what it is that you girls have been up to in this organization that you've been involved in?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Marissa. I'm the founder of Second Chance Animal Rescue. We rescue, rehabilitate and rehome animals that need a second chance. And next to me is Sarah.
Hi. I do all the fun stuff. So I get to organise events and fundraising and take puppies around corporate workplaces for visits. I do puppy yoga, like loads of different things to just bring in the money to try and keep Second Chance Animal Rescue going. Marissa brought me on a little while ago to raise $200,000 for a community animal hospital so that no sick or injured pet would ever get turned away because their owners can't afford to pay the bills. And we won that money.
We did.
And she just kept me on. She likes my face.
She's not allowed to go away.
That's awesome. So how long ago was this, and what's been happening since you girls got the grant? What have you been doing?
So we got the grant, I think we got the okay, was it last year or late last year?
Yeah.
So ever since then, we've been working frantically. We found a location in Craigieburn that we've just started building our internal structures. In this facility, we're opening up a community animal hospital. So as Sarah said, it's going to be very community-based. We're going to help a lot of disadvantaged pet owners who are struggling to care for their animals and offer quality and affordable vet care to people in the community so that all of all the animals in our local area are well looked after, and then we can offer those services elsewhere as well.
Awesome. So I know you two come from very different areas, because when we met, just a backstory, I actually met the lovely Marissa and Sarah during a radio interview at Joy FM, I think it was a few months back. And just randomly found out that we both have a shared passion, animals. One of my main passions is obviously animal rights, and I'm also a performer. I know, Sarah, you actually come from an entertainment background. You're like, you've done radio, you've done acting, and Marissa, you're a veterinarian. So it's interesting that you two, coming from these different worlds, actually came together. Do you want to tell us a bit about how, well, your background and how you two essentially met and decided to get together and do this stuff?
Absolutely. So
you go.
I'll start. Okay. So I was a vet nurse actually for, I think it was about 5 years originally, and I guess while I was nursing, I was doing a lot of volunteer work at a local shelter, and the amount of animals that would come through our clinic that would end up at the pound just because people couldn't either afford to care for them or afford their vet bills, or because they were just no longer wanted and they'd go to the pound. It was just remarkable to see the amount of animals that would go through that process versus the amount of resources that were available to them. So it was either you put your animal to sleep or it goes to the pound, where it's likely to get put to sleep anyway. So that, I guess, sparked me starting Second Chance. It started in my lounge room nearly or over 10 years ago now. And then it's just had this huge snowball effect into what it is today. There's no way I would have ever expected it to be this big and growing. And then, I've met some wonderful people along the way, like Sarah, who have definitely helped the vision come to life. I couldn't have done it or grown as big as we are without these people. So our team are amazing and have had a huge influence to the point of where we are at the moment. So, Sarah's got a completely different background to me, but she's got lots of good strengths and traits that definitely have helped us grow in the interim that she's been here.
Aww.
Shucks.
Sheesh. I come from a film and radio background. So I was, I'm originally from Zimbabwe, and I was a radio presenter
African.
on breakfast.
What's up, girl?
Yeah, and then a drive show in Dubai, and then came to Australia and started working in the not-for-profit industries on a gay and lesbian radio station in Melbourne called Joy 94.9. So I was started off as a volunteer presenter there and then became program director. And that's how I met another colleague of ours, a guy called Kevin, who handles all of our social media. And I'm the same as you, Krishel. Like, I'm a massive animal rights activist. I love working in the not-for-profit space, but I also like the media aspect of stuff as well. So Kevin mentioned that Marissa was looking for a bit of a gun to do fundraising events, bring in alternate revenue streams to S.C.A.R, because we had every month we get donations in, but they're normally like $5 here, $10 there. Mm-hmm. So I was sort of brought on as create a patrons program. Let's do a ball for the first time ever, and let's raise this money for the animal hospital. So I'm really lucky because I get to utilize some of my skills and my contacts in radio and film. And we've actually just secured a television series, which we're allowed to talk about now.
Oh, fantastic. Debut on the Krishel journey. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So through one of my contacts who owns a film production company, she pitched the idea of a 10-episode show on Second Chance Animal Rescue, following us around, following Marissa and what she does in the day-to-day, following me as I do puppy visits and events, following our vet Kylie as she does all the surgeries at the clinic. And it's going to be on Channel 9 at 7 p.m. on a Friday night. So
oh, wow. We're talking mainstream TV. That's freaking huge. I mean, first of all, who doesn't want to watch?
So we're kind of from the little shelter that could. We're suddenly going to be ricocheted into everyone's going to know who we are. So I hope we're ready.
That's absolutely sensational, girls. I'm so happy for you. I mean, I'm going to tune into that. I actually don't really watch TV these days. I'm all on the YouTubes and whatnot. But
okay, you can watch it on iTunes afterwards.
It'll be on what, sorry? It'll be on what? iTunes?
It'll be, you know how you do, like, if you get the apps and you watch it afterwards, so you don't
for sure. I'll be sure to check it out. I was just going to say that, I mean, I often spend hours. I have this weird passion where I just watch hours and hours of videos on dogs and cats, So I think it's one of these things that people don't mind watching, Like, I think it's a good recipe for success to have a show based around, dogs, animals, cats, all that kind of stuff, and obviously helping them. I actually did a bit of research. Now, I didn't realize you started this organization yourself, because it's pretty big. I mean, isn't there like an American-based version of this, of S.C.A.R as well? Or, I mean, it's not just limited to Australia from what...
No, still the name.
Yeah, probably did. It's a common name, so there are a few American-based, organisations that might sound similar, but no, I started from scratch. So, as I said, I was volunteering at another shelter in Victoria, and I guess learned how they did things and looked at, what I felt I could do maybe a little bit better or learn from issues that I was seeing. And it just, like I said, it grew, it snowballed out of nowhere from starting with one cat, which was, Annabelle, a little white cat that came through, and I ended up keeping her, and she passed away only this year, so she's been with me a little while now. That one cat just literally started the whole process, so that's why we're here today.
But the difference between Second Chance and some of the other shelters is we have a no-kill policy. And the whole reason why it's called Second Chance is that we go around pounds and shelters across Victoria, and the animals that are due to be euthanized or put to sleep in other pounds because they don't have enough space for them or they haven't been adopted, we collect those animals, bring them back to our shelter, and then offer them the second chance of being adopted.
That's absolutely
so
awesome.
That's the whole premise of us. So we're kind of like their last hope. And we just hit 10,000 adoptions this year. So that's 10,000 dogs and cats that, since I started this in my lounge room over 10 years ago, that have been adopted. So that would have otherwise been put to sleep.
Yeah, it's a lot of animals.
Yeah.
That is
Chris,
absolutely...
Chris, tell your listeners about you performing at our ball.
Yes, I was going to get into that, but I'm just so taken back by what you girls are doing. I think it's absolutely amazing. I didn't actually realize that it's a policy for, I guess, a lot of these other charities that, if they deem it's necessary to euthanize these pets. But I guess it's great, obviously, that you girls don't do that. And do you want to tell me a bit more about the organization? Because whereas I know that you've been doing this for some time, you've only recently started building up this this sanctuary. And what are you going to be doing there? I mean, is it? I know you're a veterinarian, Marissa. Are you going to be performing a vet nurse?
Yeah.
Okay. So is the procedure of what you do at the sanctuary, is that going to be all around saving these dogs? Is it also about getting them back to health? I mean, I'd imagine in certain situations they're not the healthiest. What are the day-to-day activities that you get caught up with in this organization?
Yeah,
now, that's really new, so might be a little tricky. But
so our current facility in Camberfield, Melbourne, we predominantly do the rescue work. So we rescue the animals, we rehabilitate them, so whatever they need behaviourally, medically, and then we rehome them. So it's not a big facility. We have a large foster care network, so we have hundreds of animals in people's homes around Melbourne. So they're not stuck in cages, they're not stuck in a concrete, enclosure. They're actually living with a family while they're being rehabilitated and getting ready to be rehomed. The space in our current shelter, we outgrew that within about 6 months, I think. We've been in there 4 years now. Wow. We run a number of different programs that we really need to expand, but we just didn't have the space to expand those programs. So at the moment, we run an outreach program. So as I said, there's a lot of people in our local area that are quite disadvantaged financially. There's a lot of people that have just moved from overseas. There's a lot of different groups of people in our area, and not all of them understand or have the resources to look after their animals as effectively as they should. So our outreach programs. Our outreach program helps these people by giving them free or heavily subsidised medical care. We offer a free food bank and free pet goods depending on what they need, lots of resources to help them while they get out of that financial slump or whatever it is that is their particular problem. But the new facility is going to be, it's at least 3 times the size. We have a huge animal hospital, so we'll be able to offer not only the outreach patients medical care, but people from the local area, so members of the public, by offering really heavily subsidised or quite affordable medical care, so nothing gets missed. If you're looking at desexing your animal but you just need to wait till you've saved a little bit more money, we'll be able to offer you that discounted price so that it's not put off and it gets done, and it saves that potential accidental litter from happening and your dog or cat getting pregnant. So not only will we have the animal hospital plus our shelter in that facility, we also will have a huge cattery. So people, when they're going away and they need to board their animal, they can leave their animal with us and we'll look after it while they're away. But a really exciting program that we're working on at the moment is a domestic violence program for pets called Safe House for Pets. And this program, we've done a lot of work on it so far, and there's a lot to do still, so it's still in its skeleton phase. But the program essentially will be us looking after animals while people are fleeing a dangerous situation, such as domestic violence, so that they can get to safety and their animal is looked after while they're escaping. The statistics show that so many people, just especially women, do not leave their partners or do not leave a domestic family violence situation because of their animals, because there's nowhere for the animals to go.
That's really
and we get calls on a regular basis from caseworkers of people in these situations and from the people themselves wanting to surrender their animals to us. And it's heartbreaking because they love their animals and they shouldn't have to abandon them or have to give them up because of that situation. So this is a bit of it's not going to fix their problem, but it's going to give them a lifeline. It's going to potentially give some people the ability to get out of that situation and know that their animals are safe. So it's quite an important program and a one that we know is going to make a huge difference. So the new facility will ensure that we have the space to be able to do that. So that's pretty exciting. And also in the facility, we will have a large education room. So we'll be running workshops, seminars, free community education nights about all things pet related. We run pet first aid seminars. We'll be doing puppy school, kitten kindergarten, dog training sessions.
Movie nights where you can bring your dogs.
Movie nights for dogs and people. So lots of different fundraising ability in that room as well, but also community education so that we can spread the message about what we're doing.
Wow, this place sounds like more than just an animal sanctuary. Because my first impression was that it was a place to basically get dogs and cats, other animals back to health. But you have puppy schools. You ensure that these animals get the care that they need, and there's so many things going on here. Was this something that you came about with all at once? I mean, did you plan this, or is this something that has just come about, like the ideas for this sanctuary? How did the purpose of this thing, of what it was for, how did that come about?
I guess I'm an ideas person, that's for sure. I've got a million more ideas where these have come from. Sarah's my doer. So I've got
She's your what, sorry?
I'd love to get done, and lots of ideas for programs that I know that would benefit the community for our animals and people. But sometimes I guess bringing them to life. Yeah, I've got a lot to do, but bringing them to life can be a bit tricky. So sometimes I just have to park those ideas and wait until there's a suitable time. But we've grown so well over the last few years that it was just time to take that next step and plunge into this new place. And Sarah winning these amazing grants has meant that we've been able to take the step into the new facility, which then means we can start some other projects. So, I'm glad this one's jumped on board because it meant that we were able to take that step a lot quicker, which has been amazing.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying because it is. We've suddenly gone from, we call ourselves the little shelter that could, because we're a small fry in comparison to some of the other bigger ones, and we're suddenly going, let's move into an animal hospital. Why not? What's stopping us? Let's have a TV series. Let's do a big ball in October. And it all seems to be magically working so far.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, I've noticed that when people are doing something that actually has a service to the community, more and more people want to get on board. I think because so many people see the value of what you're doing. I mean, let's face it, who doesn't love animals? There's been this snowball effect, even being connected with like minds. And not just that, but the fact that you mentioned you've raised over, what was it, like 10,000 or something for the bowl coming up. It shows that when you're doing something as valuable as this, I think the universe conspires to make things happen for you. So it's a beautiful thing to see. I mean, that's what I actually mentioned this event to one of my friends, I mean, they usually don't do charity gigs, but then I mentioned what it was about, and they're like, yeah, absolutely, let's jump on board. So not only, this is probably a good segue to talk about this, not only myself, I'm going to be performing at the Fur Ball. I'm going to be doing some new tracks from my EP, in addition to my new single, by the way. I got a new single out, everyone, if you want to check it out. It's called No Worries. But I'm also going to be performing there with a few other artists. I mean, my friends, the Elliots, they're going to be performing there. They're very they're very animal rights act oriented. And yeah, are we having any other performers?
We've got an amazing Melbourne-based singer-songwriter called Nussi, who is incredible.
Which is great.
Yeah, it's going to be emceed by Lara Shannon, who presents a show called Pooches at Play on Channel 10. We're potentially having Fem Belling as well, who's an amazing jazz singer. But it's just, I think the whole event is going to tick a lot of boxes. So tickets are on sale now. We've just released them. If you go to secondchanceanimalrescue.com.au and go to the shop section, you can buy either individual tickets or you can buy a table of 10. It's at the Melbourne Zoo, and it starts off with canapes with giraffes. So you have canapes and cocktails with the giraffes, and then you come through and you have a 3-course meal, unlimited booze for 3 hours, incredible.
Amazing. Not to mention amazing
singers,
entertainment,
such as
obviously.
yourself, Crystal. And we're going to have some great auction and raffle items. And it's just going to be a fun night for a really great cause. So please spread the word to everyone you know. We've got 20 tables to sell, so it's a small-ish room. We just need 200 people there, but it happens on October the 12th, so we've got some time. But yeah, we want this. It's going to be a lot of fun. We want those tables sold like now, so we can move on to the next.
Potentially.
Yeah,
And
it will
maybe
be more.
televised.
They will film it for the TV series.
Yeah.
That's
saying.
That's insane. That's insane. I think it's an amazing event. Obviously, going towards a great cause, and I'm definitely very excited about doing this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, please,
Thank you.
if you want,
We really appreciate it.
sure. And look, if people can't make it to the event and they want to support S.C.A.R, I mean, how do people get in touch with you? What can they do?
Yeah, sure. There's so many different ways that people can help. So if you jump on our website, that's going to be the first point of call. So it's just www.secondchanceanimalrescue.com.au. On the website, there's information about donating. I mean, you can donate. That obviously helps us save animals. It helps us run our programs. It helps save lives. It really makes a big difference with every cent that we get. You can volunteer. There's information about volunteering at our shelter. You can volunteer at our fundraising events. We hold highway collections every month, so you can stand on the road and
shake a tin,
and it helps us save a fair bit of money, raise a fair bit of money for our animals, the animal care and those sort of things. We have people that help transport animals. We have foster carers. You could look after an animal in your home temporarily. It literally saves a life. Sure. So there's so many different things you can do. Even just sharing our content on social media, it gets the word out there. So we're building that awareness in the community about S.C.A.R. And what we do, that helps us grow, and it helps us get the word out there so we can save more animals.
Sure.
Or if you're a business, I mean, we do corporate puppy visits to businesses. We're always looking
I love
for
that idea. Corporate puppy visits.
We've got amazing opportunities now with the television series as well.
Sorry to stop you there, Sarah. Can you tell me a little about the corporate puppy visits? Because I think this is something that, well, I would actually like to do. I work in a corporate environment part-time.
It's a lot of fun.
And who doesn't want to have puppies in their office environment? So
exactly, and it actually is really popular. So it's something that when I first started working at S.C.A.R, and I realized that Marissa often got puppies into the shelter quite often. Mm-hmm. Without sounding like these puppies are a money-making machine, I'm kind of going, what can we do? Everyone loves puppies, and it just got us into this whole other realm that S.C.A.R hadn't really gone to before, which is corporates. So we've now got this massive mailing list of amazing organizations who love animals, who as soon as we've got puppies in, we email them and go, hey, we've got a batch of puppies in, do you want to visit? And we take them to an office situation, and they get to play around and have cuddles for an hour. And they love it. And the organization donates $500 towards our services as like a thank you for us doing it. So we bring the volunteers, we clean up after the pups, and it's basically just an hour of cuddles.
De-stressing for the employees. No one's going to take a sick day if they know there's a litter of puppies coming to help.
Absolutely. I was actually thinking that where is obviously
at work, and if you want to get onto the mailing list for that at all, email me. So it's just Sarah with an H, Sarah at secondchanceanimalrescue.com.au.
And there's info on the website about it as well.
Well, I'm definitely going to try to get that to go on in my office environment. I think that'd be beautiful. And I was just thinking that, I mean, a lot of people think of the animals as getting a second chance, but I think they're giving a second chance to a lot of people as well. I think we know animals are obviously very therapeutic, and it's a great way to inspire you, to help you to go out and exercise more if you have a a dog or even a cat that's accompanying you and so forth. So it's just as much an opportunity for these animals as it is for the carers. So it's a beautiful thing, a mutual relationship that's going on there.
And there's been all these studies done about emotional, spiritual, mental well-being, like having a pet is a massive de-stressor. That's why it's really encouraged in old age people homes, or if anyone's sick or lonely or just struggling in general. It's just, the health benefits are incredible. So that's one of the things that Second Chance Animal Rescue does, is we make sure that the people who own animals and love them and would often go without food so that their pets are fed, because that's how strong the bond is. We make sure that they're supported and they have everything they need. And if they can't afford it, that's fine. We'll foot that bill for them. That's the whole point of us, really.
That's absolutely awesome. Well, girls, I think we've covered most of the stuff in relation to this. Was there anything that you wanted to bring up? And we covered the fur ball, what you girls do. Obviously, if people want to get in touch with you, I'll put your details on my podcast.
That would be awesome. Yeah, we're really wanting to plug the ball at the moment, because especially with, like, if we can get into corporates and corporates can buy tables of 10, it means that it's not something that I have to spend lots of time kind of plugging. I can be moving on to next things. So that's the big thing that we want to push. And then also for the month of June, for the end of the financial year, we're really doing a push for donations for the Safe House for Pets domestic violence program, so that people, it's all tax deductible donations, but for the end of the financial year, if they do want to give to a charity, that money will then go to ensuring that we have places to house animals that they can be looked after while their owners are fleeing domestic violence situations. So those are our two big pushes at the moment.
That's a lot of work, and it's fantastic to see that. I'd imagine, are you girls doing this full time? Because I know there's
I'm full time, and it's what's beyond full time.
Yeah,
it would be maybe 2 full-time jobs, I'd say.
Marissa works about 70 hours a week.
It's never ending.
Sure.
It's day and night, and even when I do sleep, I wake up thinking, "Oh, we could do this." And, it's a constant in my life for sure. And Sarah's close to part-time. Part-time.
On paper, I'm 20 hours a week. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
Well, it's awesome that you're devoting your time and energy to such a beautiful charity, and I'm definitely going to do everything I can to plug the fur ball. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't make it to the fur ball and you want to support them, I'll put their details below. Girls, thank you so much for coming on the Crucial Journey podcast on this 100th episode. I'm so happy to have you guys on there. Absolutely. And I look forward to seeing you. I might see you sooner. I know you girls will have a few activities going on before the October the 12th. But just to recap, October the 12th, 6 p.m., Melbourne Zoo, fur ball going down. Be sure to check it out. I'm going to be performing there along with some other amazing artists. And it's going to be an amazing night.
Thanks, Krishal.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thanks for listening,
girls.
everyone.
You're absolutely amazing. Love what you're doing. Much love. Mwah.
Thank you. Take care. See you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, there you have it. Marissa and Sarah from S.C.A.R, Second Chance Animal Rescue. Amazing organization. And as we mentioned, I'm going to be performing there October the 12th at 6 p.m. It's going to be awesome. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That is my 100th episode of the Crucial Journey podcast. Be sure to drop us some comments. Let us know what you think. Be sure to hit up Second Chance Animal Rescue if you want to get involved in any of the activities that they got going on there. Donate your time or donate your money. It's all good. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, peace out. Keep it real. Until next time, this is the Crucial Journey podcast. Ow!
This morning heard the sound of a nation warring going on. What's going on? I looked at the soldiers marching day and night, so the view was forming in their eyes, within their eyes. I looked at the comets planting instruments to all they're playing all along, just like songs. I'm watching the world go mad, still rolling back. You lost this man like it don't belong, like it don't belong. But I know that we can do better. I believe that we can do better. 'cause I know that we can do better.